Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm doing good. I'm at the parentals and
Aw.
background. And actually, these are my mom's plants for real,
I
for
was
real.
about to say, is that a virtual background? Because it looks so
No,
nice and calming.
no, for real deal.
Listen, mom has a real green thumb. I
Mhm.
wish, okay?
Girl, same, same. Mother has it, grandmother had it, even my uncle has it, but no, things go brown around me.
I understand, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Overstand.
Hmm.
Well, good. How long will you be there? Oh, you got
I
it. When
got
I
it.
saw your post, I was
Yes,
like,
yes, yes, I got it. So yeah, I came Thursday. I didn't get a chance to dig in yet, but I'm excited. I was like, let me bring that into our call today. I'll
yeah.
be here as long as the environment allows me to be here.
Okay. Overstand.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. But I definitely need to be home. I need to probably be going home by Friday at the latest if I stay that long. So, because I have a wedding on Saturday. So,
Oh, nice. Anywhere
mhm.
warm?
What'd you say? No.
Anywhere warm?
Well, today is warm because, geez, we've had 50-degree increase. So we were
Oh,
negative 30 degrees and now it's like almost 40. So it's actually
so
more
you
than
guys
that.
are with us because we were, I think, 46 today. And I was like, didn't even get to get outside, but I was like, I'll
Yeah.
take it. I'll take
Yes.
it.
Yes. I just came from an appointment. I was like, ooh, heat wave. So,
And it's
so
sad that we're saying 40 is a heat wave, but I get
right.
it.
Considering this winter, it's like, yes.
Exactly. For
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I don't
So,
go anywhere that's going to be warm until the first week in March. Then I go to Dallas for a couple
oh, that's
days. Yeah,
okay,
and then I go to
nice.
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're definitely warm. I talked to my brother the other day. He's like, yeah, it's 85. I was like, oh, nice.
Can't wait.
Girl, that part.
Yes.
That part.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, okay, well, good.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so how are things? Where are we? What are we talking about today?
Yeah, yeah, things are good. I'm super busy, but I'm just so glad that like the disciplines of putting myself first and not allowing myself to be burnt out and crispy that I can't show up for me. So I don't know if I
Mhm.
told you on the last call, but my aunt, she has double lung cancer.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So she's had it for a while. She's done 3 runs of chemo. And then on Thursday, oh no, that's why, because our appointment was after or before rather.
Before,
On Thursday, I felt the need on Wednesday, instead of being there for her like virtually and calling her and praying beforehand and talking to her either at the appointment or after, I just felt to go. And
mm,
so I went, and that's when we got the news of the new cancer from
mm,
a biopsy that she had had the week before. So there's that's going on. She's going to go
mm,
in for surgery on Monday, and then yesterday she asked me to be her caretaker when she gets out of the hospital, to be with her, stay with her, work from there, and part of it is not only because the clinical expertise that I have. So, like when I
mhm.
talk to clinicians, they think I'm a nurse, or they think like maybe not a doctor because our skin complexion, but they definitely be thinking I'm a nurse. I'm like, mm-mm. But also like that command, like, ma'am, you need to sit your
That
butt down.
advocacy, right?
Absolutely. Like, come on. Like, and with her kids, she doesn't listen to them, but she'll listen to me. So,
And that's big.
Yep. And when she had, this is her second bout of cancer. She had multiple myeloma, which is cancer of the blood,
Mm,
a couple of years ago. And even my mom and her sister, she had to get a blood, not a blood. She had to get a
transfusion.
bone marrow transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And so she couldn't be around anyone. So my mom and my aunt were there, and she was like full of anxiety. And I kicked them out
Mm-hmm.
of the room. Like,
Yeah.
didn't even give any concept to. I'm like, oh no, y'all got to go.
That part is
Like
not helpful.
it's not helping, because sometimes people, they just don't, they mean so well, but they don't know how to sit with someone and let them
Mm-hmm.
express their emotion, and also lead them into the place of faith. Two things can exist at once, and we need
Yeah.
to, handle the person, so that way we're taking care of the fullness of who they are. So she remembers that, of course. So I'm sharing this with you not to like make this time about her, but also like knowing going up into this next week, I have to be really intentional, even more so, of taking care of myself because, she's getting the cancer removed from her lungs, but they're also removing parts of her lungs. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's going to be a really invasive surgery and praying that, there's a miracle and God extends her not only her life, but also accelerates her healing journey. But even still, it's a burden and one that I appreciate and that I receive, but still nonetheless with all things in flight, like I'm just really diligent. And so like this having this come about time blocking and prioritization and focus so that way I don't lose track of me, but still be there for
Mm-hmm.
her. And also like she does have kids. They can't show up for her in my capacity. But
Mm-hmm.
also this is not my burden either.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of walking through all those different things. So
No, I get that 150%. How are you feeling in general about, even though you are good with balancing
mm-hmm.
and you're embracing and accepting this,
Mm-hmm.
are there any thoughts, concerns, and feelings about,
Hey sweetie, hold on one second.
mhm,
Let's say you meet somebody. This is my coach, Shatia. This is my son, Tajon.
nice to meet
Say pat
you.
back. He just got home from work. How you doing? Good. Well, you smell. You just got home from work.
Oh, I use lotion.
Oh, how you smell good and you just like, So, all right. Well, I'm finishing up my session. So, okay.
Actually, I'm already doing.
Oh, you are? Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay.
Oh, him is
Yeah.
precious.
Thank you.
But
Girl
yeah,
about to
like
be
how
28. Yes.
really? Oh, that's
Yes.
a grown
A
man.
grown girl man. Grown girl man. And in May.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Girl, listen, you have like all the in my head, I'm like all the emotion triggers. Like, what is all at one time, you know?
Right.
So,
Literally.
how are you, just in general, like, how are you feeling? Suppressed emotions, concerns, like, because I just know that during time of, I will use the word grief because there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot that she's grieving and maybe her kids are even grieving.
Mm-hmm.
And that shows up differently for so many people,
Yeah.
and it can cause conflict even with the best intentions. So,
Mm-hmm.
are there any like concerns or emotional um weighted things that you want to talk through or feeling?
Yeah. So for me, like yesterday when I said yes, like I said yes, not rapidly because it was just I felt compelled to say yes. It was just because I wanted to. And then like I have a whole partner that we're about to kick out of the program 2 weeks before they go live.
Mm,
So I've been escalate. I think I was telling you at escalation last week. This is the same
mhm,
one. So the decision was made that
gotcha.
they got to go. So in the midst of like that yesterday, like the thought came like, oh, this is about to be like deep in a hard situation,
Mhm,
because before she just had chemo and she just had a transplant, but now there is a surgery that's going to require healing on top of all the other treatments that she had, and then
mhm,
still having that cancer. So, like
mhm,
from a mental standpoint, it's like, okay, they've removed this, but I still have this. And then the grief that
mhm,
she experienced and her kids experienced too, that through the chemo, there's been a revelation of new cancer.
mhm,
So that was the revelation on Thursday. And so there absolutely is grief. And for me, like I have to protect myself because like she could be here in faith and then talk to someone and spiral right. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, and I'm just like, and I get it. And she's also still
mhm,
new in her faith. But I just help her to reframe like, not think God allowed for this to be detected so that way they can take it out because they would have not known that it was there had it not. So thankfully it came up and out, right?
Right,
That it came
exactly.
so we could take it out. So for me, I think it's just managing my expectations on what her, and I don't have any, but just
Hmm.
being aware that it can literally be the roller coaster of not only emotions but also managing my cousins. I did tell her yesterday, I said, I'm taking your phone. I said, and your kids will need to call me in order to check in. And she's like, that's okay. um Only because of the fact that she needs to rest and she is not stable emotionally where a person can, like I said, just take,
Hmm.
she not even, they don't do anything. She goes there with them
Hmm.
for them. And they don't even want that for her. So I just
Hmm.
need to be conscious of those things and know that like my presence there is going to shift the atmosphere because God is in me, but also at the same time, this is his doing. I'm just a vessel. And so not doing, and I won't do it because this is what I got healed from. And this is what was one of the root systems that was erupted and removed during Power Broker is the fact of
Hmm.
overdoing,
Function.
over carrying, over functioning, as opposed to just showing up and doing my allotted part for such a time as this. So, but then also like managing work, there's a lot going on. So I did set expectation today with my manager that I would be caretaking for her. And so that could be as early as next Tuesday or Wednesday, or it could be as
Hmm.
late as the following week afterwards, depending upon what her surgery's like, because she could be admitted from 1 day to 5 days. So just giving him
Hmm.
that expectation as well. And
Hmm.
so I'm grateful though I don't have to do like any FMLA paperwork because it's not like that, at least yet, from a
Okay.
cultural standpoint. But also at the same time, like that's going to, you know, it's already busy. We're already strained. All the changes that I shared with you, and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks in March. So just balancing all that and just making sure that I'm still showing up for myself, not even in the things that I do, but who I am first, and
Hmm.
letting what I'm producing be truly an overflow of what it is that God's called me to do, as opposed to seeking the thing and then not being filled up, because like that would be hypocritical to what it is of the message that's inside of me.
Hmm.
So staying
Hmm.
aligned. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I love that you have a awareness of this in the forefront, right? Because one of the things that I will say, I see you as a light worker, right? And so for light workers, we are tested in our areas of strength more
Mm-hmm.
than we are in our areas of weakness,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it
Mm-hmm.
is mainly, in my opinion,
It's
that
good. It's
it is
true.
the devil to distract you
Mm-hmm.
from the thing, right? Because he knows that if he can distract you from the thing,
Yes.
then the thing will not come to pass and
Come
make the
on.
world a better place, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I am I feel calm that you
Mm-hmm.
do have this at the forefront of your awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just food for thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
FMLA could be a blessing in disguise. Just keep it in the back of the
Mm-hmm.
mind.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, I only share that
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah.
personal experience. That's how I transitioned into full
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship. I never would have, I tell people
Mm-hmm.
all the time, I would have stayed with them people until I found some other people, right? um, but I did go out caring for my dad with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so that
Oh,
was
you know.
my like transition
Mm-hmm.
um into this world because initially, it was during the COVID seasons and we were still teleworking. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was able to kind of balance those things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, grief is a sneaky creature,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't show up the way we sometimes expect, even if we have experienced it before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, God has his divine order, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so even though we pray for, his will is always done. And so there's always
Mhm.
a twist and a turn,
Yeah.
right? And so
Mhm.
I know we are conditioned to push through, strive through, show up for,
Mhm.
um, but I felt compelled to share that just
Mhm.
because of all of the transition that's already going on with your job.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so for you just to keep that in the back of your mind that it
Mhm.
could be
Mhm.
your severance
Yeah.
if however.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, no,
but
that's so
to
good because,
yeah,
I wasn't thinking about the FMLA piece of it, but I definitely, obviously, am praying for a miracle.
mm-hmm,
Um, and so still believing that, but also like I think I told you that I knew I was going to move back in August. I'm petting the
mm-hmm,
dog that's sitting right
mm-hmm.
here in case you are
No,
moving.
no, you're fine.
Um, and so, but I didn't know when I was going to move. And I had my lease, and I thought, like, if I got another position that I could leave, but that wasn't the case. It was like, no, your same job needs to transfer you. I'm like, I work in
Mm,
sales. I can live wherever in the United States, so that ain't happening. And then I'm like, okay, Laura, well, if you want me to go anytime earlier, then I'm not worried about the breaking of the lease and what that's going to cost because your will trumps all of that. But I didn't get that. And
mhm,
so, and when I got confirmation of me moving, it was already after me needing to sign my lease. I just hadn't signed it because I would have
mm,
needed to give them 60-day notice.
mhm,
So it was literally after the slowdown in order to speed up that
mhm,
in January, I got confirmation, okay, tell leadership in May and then move in August, September. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, I think there's a reason why you still need to be there. And then I realized that part of it was there were some things that God still wanted to grow in me, so that way when I get there I can be a blessing in this area as well.
mhm,
But also, like, I know and recognize that it is to be able to be there for my aunt
mhm,
and praying and believing for the miracle. But even like David, he prayed until, there was no breath left in his son. He got out and washed his face. And I think a lot of people fail in their faith because they don't recognize that if God doesn't heal here, he can still heal
mhm,
there. And
mhm.
so I do have that thought that I haven't shared with anybody because, like, that will derail the whole, like, they look
Exactly.
to me as, like, but it's just it's reality, and not that this reality of this world trumps the kingdom, but it's the reality of the principle and the way God functions. And so as long as there's breath, like, we pray for the miracle, but ultimately it's his will that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so the grief going through the process, but then also if he decides to take her home,
Mhm,
then that's a different thing. So yeah, so thank you. I really appreciate you sharing that because, again, I wouldn't have thought about FMLA potentially being the bridge and the way that
mhm,
God wants to do the thing. And then also I think that even though I know right now with my leader that it's comfortable, it probably still does. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do it at least intermittently unless things need to change,
mhm,
caring for her, because then that's just the standard protection in case someone else that has more power than he does.
mhm,
They know that it's documented that I am away because I am tending to someone who is critically ill. And
mhm.
even though she's not presenting that way, she has
Right.
3 different strains of cancer. Because there's stage 1 on the left side, or no, stage 2 on the left side, stage 1 on the right side, and then the new cancer.
So that, yeah,
hmm And then the suppression of the multiple myeloma.
right.
So,
I mean, but there is proof she is a warrior, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Listen.
she's
Oh, yeah.
come this far for
Yes.
sure, because that
Yeah.
is definitely a story in itself. So,
Yes.
um, we
hmm
do pray recovery, right? But
hmm
yes, there's just so many of us who are just conditioned to show up and we don't think about the out of the box, like you said,
hmm
protections or bridges to
hmm
help us to X, Y, and Z so that it
Yeah.
is um easier just
Mhm.
easier in general, mentally,
Yeah.
financially, emotionally. It gives
Mhm.
you some space and grace for capacity in
Mhm.
all areas, right?
Yeah.
Because then you, like you said, you guys have had so many transitions. If
Mhm.
you're out and God forbid he's dismissed, right? Like
Mhm.
you said, it's
Right.
just think about all of your out of the box options
Mhm.
during
Mm.
this time so
Yeah.
that you can be present for you, for her, for
Mhm.
everybody, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And for
Um,
legacy for the guy who just walked behind, right?
that
And for his seed and
exactly,
his seed seed. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. This is really good. Thank you.
Hmm. Okay.
What does
That is.
Sherry call you? Mentor coach. What's the
Oh
word?
yeah, mentor coach meetup. Yeah.
Yeah. Girl, there was some therapists going on right there too. So good. I'm have to send you my $20 copay.
You're so silly. This is this is exponential living, as
Yeah,
she would say.
yes,
It is
yes.
more than you are a whole person,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You are, like I said, a light worker. And with that also comes, some people would say, out of this world responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
intuition, guidance, mission, assignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, we have to collectively protect the human, and we
Mm-hmm.
have to collectively protect your light.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
from lived experience,
Mm-hmm.
I know the honor it is for someone to ask you to, I know, because we are
Mm-hmm.
regimented and strategic and all the things, we can have things in order. We know how to manage people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's a lot of internal work,
Mm-hmm.
speaking for myself, that this brought awareness to, that
Mm-hmm.
I never, like, I was like, we're good, we're fine, da da da.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the catalyst to a lot of shedding that got me
Mm-hmm.
to this current place,
Mm-hmm.
where the pieces of me that died with all of
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
have been rebuilt, to be able to actually hold and steward the
Mm.
real assignment, even though I thought I
Wow.
was ready.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
this lived experience
Mm-hmm.
definitely revealed that, girl, you are not ready.
Wow.
You
Wow.
were almost there, but
Yeah.
you were not there. And
Yeah.
so that this is also why I felt compelled to share, because
Mhm.
God works in mysterious ways. We say it all the time, but
Mhm.
you have a purpose, and a big
Mhm.
purpose on this
Mhm.
earth. And I just foresee, in some shape, form, or fashion, this just sharpening that.
Mhm.
And so really wanting to make sure that you are covered,
Mhm.
in the faith godly realm, and
Mhm.
also on earth.
Yeah.
Because they say, I don't know if you've seen the sermon from Michael Todd Jr., where he was like, that he had the people hold up on stage a long, like, let's say, blanket or sheet. And
Mhm.
he was like, the difference is the angels are behind here. Y'all can't see that. We're on
Mhm.
this side. You can see
Yeah.
me.
Come
But
on.
even though I'm back here and you can't see it, what I asked for
Mhm.
still has relevance. It
Yeah.
still can happen. It can
Yes.
still, and so the angels are just waiting on you to
Mhm.
ask. But a lot
Mhm.
of times we don't know. We don't have that foresight
Mhm.
until that
Mhm.
bridge or that transition. And so,
Mhm.
just like with a lot of other things in our culture,
Mhm.
until the stories are passed down, or things are experiences are shared, storytelling,
Mhm. Yeah.
we're not able to equip or prepare ourselves.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
when working with our multi-passionates and our neurospices and our superpowers, we just,
Mhm.
our protections tend to go forsaken a lot of
Yeah.
times, because
Mhm.
you are the person. You're always known
Mhm.
as the person that can handle, that can do. And mentally, we are there. Like, I know I can handle and I can do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but there's some refining that God is doing on the inside during
Yeah.
certain times as this.
That is so good. And it's confirmation because like for my prayer, and it was a while ago, I was telling God that I wanted to be a container to steward his glory. And when you
Mm-hmm.
talk about like you thought you were ready, but you weren't really ready, and then to be able to hold the capacity, like those were my prayers in my quiet time. And I agree that like even during this process, because I live close to Canada, of like, okay, and this is like just me being reckless unto the Lord. I am the researcher, the planner, all the things, but with this, I just stepped out. I'm like, I'm launching a business. Didn't read not one book, one article, like just walking in faith. And I'm like, and I work in business. Like, this is what I do. Like, I coach leaders how to like lead their business. But I love the fact that God had me out there in them streets like that, looking like a fool, because I was leaning to not my own understanding to his, and
Mm-hmm.
then trying to, and then not trying to learning how to hear his voice for
Mm-hmm.
accuracy. And I'm like, yeah, this time, and then like come back like, I don't think it's that time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like to your point, we can think that we're ready, but we're really not ready, but we're in the process of becoming ready. And so I absolutely do know and 100% agree that this will sharpen me for multiple ways and multiple parts of my life. And, clarity is something that we hold on to near and dear. And I think that, anytime we experience life situations that come to test our faith and our health, whether it be us or somebody that we love, like we really like zoom back and think like what's really important. And then I think that's where we find the courage and the bravery to be able to move forward into those things with precision, and we abandon the fear and the noise and the chatter in our own mind, and we push into obedience, because that's really what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I going to obey the word of the Lord despite the winds that are blowing and the house that's shaking and it feeling like it's on the quicksand, even though I know that it's on the rock? And even if it's the rock and
Mm-hmm.
quicksand, am I still going to obey, or am I going to oh, look, there was a word, or am I going to delay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
part right there.
Yeah.
And like we talked the other week and you was like it was Dr. Ray.
Hmm.
When it dropped in my soul, like you have this affirmation card deck, are you using it on yourself?
Hmm.
Same instance with you. Because a lot
Hmm.
of times the light work, you perfected on, like you're your first client. So
Yeah.
it is very timely with your devotional
Hmm.
because, or even your CEO reset, because
Hmm.
you are a person. So
Yeah.
CEO reset.
Hmm.
And like you said, it's so aligned with the devotional piece of that.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
this is like the piece to take you through. This
Yeah.
is, what does like day one of this devotional look like for you?
Hmm.
Or how does it land for you when you read it? Testing it out and being your first client
Hmm.
is the number one way to perfect the
Right.
thing. And
Yeah.
we are sometimes forced into that, right?
Hmm.
Without knowing a lot of times, but that
Right.
obedience or delay depicts which route you're gonna go, the hard-headed route or
Hmm.
the like, okay, this could be a whole lot easier, right?
Right, right.
And I've
Yeah.
taken the hard-headed route one too many times.
Uh,
But so that's what it makes me think of. Like you already have had this devotional in you,
Hmm.
and this is the season to put it to the test. This is that
Yes.
fire test, right? Because
Hmm.
then you go promote and share and lead others through this again, not just from the downloads but from the lived experience.
Yes,
And
because
this
that's where
is
the
how it
fire
landed.
is,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah. And the testimony of like, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
just write this for you, like I lived this. It's transformed me. It broke me, built me back up, and broke me down again.
All of that, and it just
Mhm.
brings more connection to the people. I tell people all the time,
Mhm.
people are the business. Without
Yeah.
people, you have no business. And
Mhm.
so for people to still be seen outside of that CEO, right? Because a
Mhm.
lot of times they feel that they have to always keep the mask on in order
Mhm.
to keep the respect.
Yeah. That's
And you being able to connect, oh, she is a badass CEO. Oh, she's done this. Oh, it worked for her. I am
Mm-hmm.
safe with her.
Yeah.
And so just
Amen.
really use this time to walk yourself through your own devotional.
Thank you. This is so good. Yeah. It's like
Okay.
a holy hush moment. Like, how do we even transition? We keep going.
Well, we transition into your implementation plan. Like, how do
Okay.
we, we had our timeline and our pivot.
Mhm.
How do we add padding and space and grace
Mm,
into that for you with this new addition to life, right?
mhm, mhm,
So what are your needs? We know what aunt's needs
mhm,
are. You may even know what some of her kids or your mom's emotional burdens or needs may
mhm,
be, but
mhm.
what are the other needs that you need
Yeah.
to put in place in order to, I stray away from saying pivot, but reposition so
Mhm.
that you can stay on track and keep your self-care at the forefront.
Yeah, so I am absolutely an ambivert that tips introversion. So I need
Mm-hmm.
some boundaries. I need some solace. And so when I told her, I was like, Auntie, because like for work, and I was able to use it for work, I was like, I need quiet time. I was like, I can't have the kids there. She's like, oh, no, no, no. It's just gonna be me, you, and Winter, who's her dog. I'm like, okay. So like now I'm gonna have a talk with her
Mm-hmm.
to face because this is over the phone, like make sure that she understands and also have her be accountable to communicate that ahead of time to her kids so that we're all on the same page about what the day looks like. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so and like, her kids are adults. It's not like she has babies. But still like if that's what you want, if you, then this is what the terms are and setting aside time like when they come and visit and not just because of me needing my boundaries, but because you need your rest. So mapping
Mm-hmm.
that out, I think is going to be really important. I will still need to. I have been eating so clean ever since the fast, Shatia. Like I've lost 8 pounds. I've lost
Okay.
2 inches in my waist. And I know that I've like gotten a lot of inflammation. So when I choose to eat something bad, I'm not caught in the cycle of
Mm-hmm.
continuing, but I also feel it in my body. So I will still, of course, need to make sure that I'm honoring my temple and being diligent. Girl, I have not cooked this much since I was married.
But it makes a huge difference.
Oh my God. So yes, I still need to cook. I brought my stuff here. My stepdad was like, you emptied your refrigerator. I'm like, well, I was cooking on Sunday. I didn't think I was gonna come here till Monday, so I just brought up my stuff. So I'm
That
not,
is hilarious
yeah,
because
I'm not.
my friends talk about me because they're like, Jatia travels with food and you because y'all don't eat and I need to eat. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. And eat good too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I'll need to make sure to continue to do that for myself. Um, And then even before all of that, making sure that despite what she's got going on, that I dedicate my time with the Lord that has to be unscathed, untouched,
Mm-hmm.
because it's literally going to be out of that relationship of me praying and in the word and not just reading it, but studying it, that I'm going to get the strength, the joy in order to do all the things. And so I'm protecting that first and foremost. So, yeah, so I think those are the three things. So spiritually, relationship with God, boundaries, so that's the me to the world, and then
Mm-hmm.
feeding myself, as I fed myself spiritually, feeding myself physically well during the
Mm-hmm.
season and rest. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. So in my mind, what that looks like
Mm-hmm.
is that first week or so, giving yourself that space and grace to see like what this regimen looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Is she on pain meds? When is she sleeping most? Because normally that is around the medicine time, right?
Yeah.
And so for then you to hopefully acclimate and adjust your schedule around that schedule. So
Mhm.
if her first round of any type of medicine is at 7 a.m.? Are you getting up at 5 or 6 to have your quiet time with you
Mm-hmm.
and the Lord, right?
Yeah.
And then schedule a regimented time just for you guys so y'all can talk and
Mm-hmm.
what does that look like and how much strength will she have or how much will she be dependent on you to kind of
Mm-hmm.
help bathroom breaks, all the things. So
Yeah.
like processing through
Mm-hmm.
that ahead of time, of course, always helps. It's like pre-packing in your head for a trip, but
Mm-hmm.
then giving yourself that space and grace, like that first week's time frame, to
Mm-hmm.
get adjusted and acclimated. Same thing with her kids.
Yeah.
um and, do you think or trust, not think, but trust she'll have that candid conversation with them, or does this need to be a group activity? Would that be
Mm-hmm.
easier for her?
Oh, that's really good.
Because, maybe she willingly gave up her phone because it's easier to let someone else,
Mm-hmm.
kind of navigate and mitigate that. And
Yeah.
so you may be able to position yourself as a mediator, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Yeah.
telling y'all, mama's
Right.
not telling y'all,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a collective
Yeah.
plan for us all to be in good standings with her best interests in mind.
Right. Yeah,
Think
I
on
love that
that.
approach. No, no thinking. That was wisdom from God. From God.
And right, because there's again, the emotions are high even for the kids,
Hmm.
and
Of
with kids and
course.
parents, there are some things that
Hmm.
probably have never been said, and
Right.
there's still like that hierarchy of maybe I don't feel safe enough to say, or whatever the case
Mhm.
may be, right? And
Yeah.
so when there is a neutral party and
Hmm.
everyone has buy-in and can say
Hmm.
their piece, right? That
Yeah.
also lends to not waiting to see if there's a misunderstanding.
Hmm.
Um,
That's true.
and you being able to, once you figure out your regimen, stay on your regimen, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and what does coverage for you look like so that you have time to go
Hmm.
outside, take a walk, or, just
Hmm.
thinking through those things so you
Yeah.
can massage your schedule during that, or think about it ahead of time, but then
Hmm.
massage it when you're in it,
Hmm.
that first week or so
Hmm.
that you can stay true to self
Yeah.
and it not be a strain as much as
Hmm.
possible, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that's really good. And someone will have to come relieve me because I do have a work trip that I have to go to February 25th. So the difficult part is that, and of course, flexibility and agility is not knowing when she's going to get discharged based upon.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that first week that she's home. It could be the second week. So, but the 25th is when I'm going to go to Toronto and then I'm going to come home on the 26th. I'm going to the Raptors and San Antonio Spurs game.
You told me, I'm
Yeah.
excited for you.
Yeah, yeah. In the booth. Yeah. But then
Document,
also there's
document,
some
document.
right. Oh yeah, yeah. Walking in. Like, but then there's also like work that has to get done. So yes, there will need to be coverage. And so if it's my mom that comes up or either her daughter, like her kids are good.
Mhm.
But they're just what you said earlier, right? And so yes, I love that not only thinking about that time that I'm gone, but intermittently giving time and spaces for them to come, one of them come over to give me some
Mhm.
relief, even if I'm still there or either need to step away. So that way she always has someone there.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
And so
then,
it's
so I'm not overcarrying.
that part. And, from lived experience, it also, it's not a told visitor's time frame like it's a hospital and you got to be out
Mhm.
by 8. It's like it's just a perceived more space and grace that it's my mama, right?
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
and so it's a win-win for everybody,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
As
Hmm.
long as it's scheduled.
Right.
Even if
Absolutely.
they don't have to always see the thought process behind it, right? It's
Mhm.
strategic, but it is beneficial for all parties involved because
Yeah.
you are gonna need like some reprieve, even if it's like
Mhm.
just to walk outside, go outside, and not worry that she's gonna try to get up by herself or any of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
And then I was gonna also ask as food for thought too. I know it's depending, they said, of her discharge, but
Mhm.
maybe even if it's worth having a conversation with the doctor ahead of time to be like, hey, is it possible that she doesn't get discharged to the 28th or the
Mm,
29th?
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it could be depending. So they gave us the best case scenario, which would be like 1 to 3 days after. And
mhm,
then they said like worst case scenario would be like 5 days. But then she, depending upon how she's healing, may or may not come home with the tube, the excretion tube. So basically
mhm,
out of her back. So if she does come
mhm.
home with that, then she'll have home care. So I
Okay,
am really praying that that's not the case, even with the
right.
home care, because like I wanted to be and so I don't know if I ever told you this, but no, I don't think I did. I wanted to be a doctor when I was younger.
Mm,
And so like I was going back to school, even after I had my son, like I was going to school and I was going to take the long haul of going through. And every time like I kept going back, I kept getting promoted in corporate.
mm,
And so I never finished my college degree. I have some college. And
okay,
I am a lifetime learner. I've engaged with people before they're like, what? They're like, and I don't tell everybody because nobody's business except
that
for
part.
those, right? That people like when God wants me to reveal it. But he uses the foolish things of the world to confound them, right? And so when people
Mhm,
engage with me, this one woman years ago, back in 2010 or 2010, yeah, I was going through a leadership program through United Way called African American Leadership Development Program. And she was like, the way that you speak and your intellect, I thought you had double masters.
mm,
And I'm like, mm-mm. No. And then like from me to you, like I was born to a teenage mom and birthed in trauma. So coupling that with everything, it's just to God truly be the glory. So why was I telling you that? There was a purpose. What were we talking about?
her tube in her back and
Oh, yes,
wanting
yes.
to be a doctor. Mhm,
So what I realized is that I had, you know how like we think we're ready, but we're not. And so I
mhm,
had the mission, but it was the wrong assignment. It was
mm,
spiritually, not naturally. The spiritual takes care of the natural, but I wasn't called to be able to, that wasn't my assignment, my destiny
mhm,
assignment to be able to do that. So I am good with like blood and stuff like that. But when it comes to like mucus and drainage and all that, like my gut, I don't think it's ready for all that.
You know, it's so funny. It's like my best friend just said it the other day. She was like, I don't do mucus. And I'm like, what? I'll tell you that story another day. But like, we had to like literally help a friend that we thought was like dying actively in
Mhm,
front of us. Right. And
mhm.
so, like, they're losing bodily fluids and all the things. And like, she's holding him and like all these things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, you don't do mucus? Um, So when you said that, I was like, oh, y'all are one and the same. But I
Yes.
also thought to myself too, because I tell people all the time I'm self-proclaimed MD, because I thought about medical school for a really long
Oh,
time. And then I was like, and I even tried again in 2010 doing all the organic chems and things, but
wow. Mhm.
I was like, no, like that's way too long. And literally today, was it my last call? I think it might have been my last call. Anyway, I was on a call with she's a human design,
Mhm.
and she's like, whatever my pathway is, because I don't know enough, but I know enough. She's like,
Mhm.
you are meant to and treasure more so lived experience than education. And I was like,
Mm,
touche. And so
mm.
when you
Yeah.
say this, I'm like, spot on. Like I
Yeah.
literally just had this conversation earlier
Wow.
today, right? So like it's
Mhm.
not necessary for all, even though society will position us
Mhm.
to feel and think,
Mhm.
right? Um, and so your lived experience
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
Um, but I will also say, um, with my father's experience, I surprised myself at what I
Mm.
could deal with.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'll just say you might surprise yourself, but we will pray
Yeah.
she does not come home with that.
I pray
So
she does.
you don't have to deal with that. Cause
Right.
yeah, that is a different
Mm.
scenario.
Yeah. And when
Mm-hmm.
my mom took care of my grandma, like she's ended up becoming paraplegic. Like she had the suction cup and all that. So I never had to do
Mm.
it because my mom was here, but obviously my
Yeah.
grandmother was choking. Like I would do it, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, but I would do it. So,
Yeah.
but yes, we don't know what we are made of until the thing needs to come up that
Yeah.
creates the courage to do it. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Mm. Wow.
But
Talk about alignment. There's just it's so amazing.
yeah.
And when you think about like my business, so even before my business, like here I am at UKG leading professional development work stream and creating such a massive transformation, not only within Build, and that's Black Youth Careers and Leadership Development, but also
Mm,
within the whole ERG ecosystem. So Build is the third largest ERG. But what I did was I didn't stay focused on just built members, although those were our primary people. I needed
mm-hmm.
to make sure that from Kingdom that we were the bridge. And so
Mm,
created opportunities to be able to partner together. And so if these people ever knew, they like, first of all, they wouldn't care because the impact of what I have done outweighs the paper, and gone are those days. But also the irony of it that here I am in a 15,000 company organization, got pulled up from the CEO, one of 60 in order to transform the culture. And I'm also leading what was leading the professional development, got finally took the seat of co-chair. And now here I am building a leadership firm that's based upon high capacity leaders and organizations. So I just find it
listen,
comical because God, when he does a thing, he does it good. Like he blows in the ordinary and makes it extraordinary.
all of that. And I literally told her earlier today too. I was like, it's so crazy how I've applied for so many things that I was absolutely not qualified for, and the door swung open.
Come
And
on.
so when again, you are a light worker
Hmm.
and his mission is for you to do, you
Yeah.
don't have to force, you don't have
Mhm.
to, and most of us don't take the traditional route anyway because it's part of the testimony. And so
Yeah.
your light is what's shown bright enough for you to be picked from the 60 to go
Mhm.
on this journey. You're just being obedient, right? And so being able to stand firm and confident in this space without having the
Mhm.
societal um, recognition
Mhm.
and still win.
Mhm.
Inspo for some,
Mhm.
hateration from others.
Yeah.
But either way it goes, like no one can take it from you because it's
Mhm.
yours,
Yeah.
right? And
Amen.
so everything that he has positioned you to do and learn and experience, how does that connect back to your business, your vision, your
Right.
thoughts? How do
Yeah.
we take all of this? Because normally light workers are positioned to then do it for their thing.
Mhm.
You needed the lived experience. You needed the
Yeah.
receipts to say, hey, I've been in these streets. And
Mhm.
now here it is in my version.
Right. Yeah, that's so good. And um I'm gonna we'll talk through that, but I want to share something with you that just happened on Thursday. So I'm gonna turn it up. This is when I was at my aunt's appointment. I get a text saying congratulations. I'm like, for what?
With our next award, we have the Multiplier Award, which recognizes someone who mentors others and creates more leaders than followers. And for this award, we present that to Aisha Stephens. Aisha is a true catalyst for change, but what makes her stand out is how she gets there. She consistently pours into others. She checks in, encourages, coaches, and helps people when she knows they're capable, especially when they're unsure of or are still trying to find their voice. She doesn't just contribute, but she develops. She develops others while doing it, helping teammates step into the responsibilities, grow confidence, and lead. Because of Aisha, we have more people that are ready to raise their hand, take initiative, and lead with intention, and that's multiplication. So everybody, please give Aisha a digital round of applause and congratulate her on this award.
Listen, those are some real sound bites. Creates
Yeah.
more leaders than followers.
Mhm.
Develops. It gets them to raise their hand. Listen,
Right?
congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you, thank you. And my friend who is the co-chair, I was like, "This is great." I said, "But I want, can I have you record it?"
Mm.
And you talk about like the work that who I am to you, the work that we've done together, my position. She was like, "Yeah, anything you need." So I'll have that.
Listen, we
Mm-hmm.
need a sizzle reel. I feel a sizzle reel coming of all
Okay.
of these different sound bites from all of these different people, and
Yes.
then it's showing you on stage. Like I see this happening.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
see this happening because
Yeah.
your lineup for this year is already amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It absolutely is. And I just got asked to be a thought leader to one of my partners for International Women's Month. Not even talking about their organization. I'll get to that. Hold on one second. Like, it's so good. So um, hold on, almost there. Okay. So my response back to the group, I said, wow, I was just out of the office yesterday and I'm just catching up. It's been such in caps honor to get to know you, partner with you, and watch you step into rooms you weren't sure you belonged in, and then transform those spaces. That's what made this so powerful. Someone once said, I'm the, in quotations, the catalyst that accelerates excellence, aka the bully. And then I tagged the person, Gary, who said that. I said, whoops, how did I tag you? I said, but here's the truth. You were already excellent. You were already great. I just had the privilege of helping you see it, claim it, and multiply it in others. To everyone who trusted me with your growth, your questions, your breakthroughs, and your leadership, thank you. This award is not just mine, it reflects what we built together. Let's keep multiplying.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah. And then for the Women's International Month, email literally just came today. It said that they want that they're creating a short video series called Building HR Systems That Work for Women, centered on a simple but important idea: how systems either support or drain women leaders. And really, that is the
Mm.
genesis of what Executive Reset is. And it came from me understanding and recognizing that there's a different playbook for women. And with that, we end up, like I shared with you, we put on capes and we do things that are not even asked of us and they don't even equate to results. And so I love the fact that this is coming forward. She says, we're bringing together women from across the HR and the HR technology ecosystem to share honest, real world perspectives on how technology shows up in our day-to-day work. We would truly love to include your voice. A participation will look like a short recorded call with us. We would ask 2 to 3 questions shared in advance. The conversation would be relaxed and conversational. Your responses would be included in short videos shared throughout the month of March on our social channel. We're intentionally inviting women from all roles and backgrounds, whether your work is strategic, operational, technical, or hands on, because every perspective adds something meaningful to the conversation. And then the questions that they'll explore is, from your perspective, why has HR historically been a woman-led space? And why do you think that's still true today? From what you've seen, how do systems either support or drain women leaders? And then what's one piece of technology you use that genuinely makes your work easier and it doesn't have to be an HR tool? So then I get to answer those questions and then go into the audacity of how I use and leverage AI.
Do we have any affiliate links?
I will get that going. Yeah. And then I think that,
Especially if you're going to promote a tool that you use, that you love, if you can have
mm,
an affiliate link specifically for that and it works out, mutually beneficial, maybe it gives them 10% off or whatever, but then you get so many dollars. Like it
yeah.
is still passive income, but it builds your catalog of resources and what's the word, Jatia? Just confidence in you as a brand, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I just see that being another piece of your ecosystem from the
Yeah.
stage. If you're not, pushing your book or a course
Mhm.
or something that can still say, hey, here's something to help you, but it's helping me.
Right. Yeah. I love that. And that kind of goes back to like the AI agent
Mm-hmm.
that I was talking about, that I can give them a little piece of my brain and how I function and how I think. So yes, that's really good. And I think that was it. I'm gonna give you room and time because I'm looking at the clock and we just have a few more minutes.
Mm.
So, but yeah, so many things are happening. I know I said that, but I gotta go back to what you said. So like the FMLA is really important because that just happened today.
Mhm.
And then we're meeting to Thursday, the group that I was telling you about for Afrotech
Mm.
to go ahead and finalize that submission. And then that will be done before the deadline. So, and then the last thing that I'll say is so interesting. Like my former VP, when I was talking to him, I was telling him about the different things that I was working on. He kind of, this man, my friend Shmay was like, forgive him because he just doesn't know. No. She didn't say forgive him. She said, shame on him that he can't see it.
Mm.
She didn't say shame, but it was basically like that. And so what it was is that he was like you have speaking engagements like in August, October, or like in October, November. I was like, yeah. But for him, like it wasn't like a big deal because it was so late. It's like, dude, like God is starting from the end of the year and he's gonna back it up and fill up the calendar to the degree that he wants to. So,
Yes, that part. It just kills me sometimes how people are so linear and they stay in what I feel like is a rat race of, oh, I'll worry about pitching myself or whatever the case may be in third quarter for fourth quarter. And
mhm.
like you said, like my calendar is filling up
Yeah.
and in advance.
Yeah.
Like I am booked and busy all year. Like you
Right.
legit could do a post and say, join me here, here, here,
Right.
here, and here. And
Yes.
it's like, say who?
Right.
Which then will raise eyebrows and be like, who is this lady? We
Right.
need her here, here, here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
hmm Right. Yes, I agree. I agree. But also, like, he just didn't understand and recognize who I was from the beginning. So,
And
mhm,
I'll agree, but I will give a possible caveat pushback
mhm.
that he
Well,
does see.
yes, yes. Well, okay, let me reframe it because what I really meant was that he couldn't appreciate it to the degree of the full totality. He saw what he wanted to see and tried to shrink it so that way I didn't shine past him.
Because he saw the totality as well. But
Okay.
there are
That's
so
right.
many people who are ego driven
Mm-hmm.
who see and either attempt to shame, shrink,
Mm-hmm.
or just stifle.
Yeah.
And they never win at the end of
Mhm,
the day.
mhm,
And so
mhm,
he will probably like just choke on his own thoughts and words as he continues to see
mhm.
you escalate. Cause like you've been your whole story, like you said, is like been this journey of what did they say? God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the call. And so
Yes.
that's just been the thing. And he probably and others feel that they are more qualified.
Mhm.
However, the call are always qualified.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
And then have you stayed on your face to get the anointing? That's going to actually cause the transformation where it's not just head knowledge, but it's the power of God that may
Mhm,
be able to be detected to the unseen eye, to the untrained ear. And maybe it's so like not me, but the power of God through me is so relevant that the unbeliever can tell.
mhm. That
So,
part. Because
mhm,
you are genuinely, um, it's just genuine. It's pure and it's obedience.
mhm.
And that wins every time. And in corporate, it just shows up as the difference between someone in a leadership position and a leader.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Hence the
Yeah.
multiplier award. So there we have it.
Come on.
It speaks for itself. You don't have to toot your own horn. It's been tooted for you.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
am loving all of this. Okay, and then one last thing before we
Uh-huh.
get your thoughts and recap is how are you repurposing all of these things like the post that you just showed me, like are we just resharing, but I feel like you need to add your own little piece of thought
Yes.
leadership there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wait, which one for the video for the
Any of
multiplier?
them. Oh no,
Yeah.
you just showed me the post, the speaking.
Oh, yes, yes. Yep. So I just got this and I have a media kit. So
Okay, good.
but yes, I'm gonna go ahead and flavorize it for me. This one is the spiritual one. So I think I'm gonna just put this on LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, on Instagram and on Facebook.
You are a whole person. People
Mm,
on LinkedIn are whole people. Your
okay.
people are your people. Your
That is
people are
true.
corporate baddies who believe in God.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. And I
Share.
always leave. Okay, yeah. And I look at, like, both of our faces are the same. Like, just the
First of all, the
synergy.
colors are already matching with your headshot, right? So it's like,
Right. And the story between us, we went to the same middle school.
oh wow,
And she pregnant at 14, CEO by her 20s, and now
come
she's an
on,
elected official. Yeah.
come
So, and a
on.
woman of God, on fire, elder, doing all the things. So,
You know what? Remind me, this is a conversation for another day too, to connect you with one of my old clients. She has a she keeps saying it's not a business, it's a ministry, but
oh.
neither here nor there. Um, Teen Moms and Beyond is the name of her
Mm,
organization. She was
yeah.
born to a teen mom. She was a teen mom, became a nurse to change the trajectory of things.
Mhm.
But Roberta is amazing. She actually just sent me a voice note the other day. And she started a podcast. And so,
Oh my gosh, yes, I was okay. So I had Tejan when I was 16.
first of all, I was
Like,
doing the math when you said 28, and I was like, girl, I'm
yeah,
thinking he's like, early 20s because
no.
when he has a baby face too. But no, to that point,
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's also doing a piece, they had a live conference thing for a couple of years, but how that affects the family, because she's now married with a wonderful husband and all the things, and what does that look like legacy wise. And so I
Yeah.
just feel like when you said, her story, your story,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a good connection for you as
Yeah,
well.
I agree.
Because
I,
she's a guy girly to the fullest as
mhm.
well, so a
Yeah,
great connection.
that'll be
So yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I had him May 28th, and 2 weeks later, I walked the stage and graduated high school.
come on.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, he was like, Aisha, you lost weight for the practice. I'm like, oh my God. But I refused when I made the decision that I was going to keep him. I
Mhm.
refused to be a statistic. And so at the age of 26 is when I went into leadership. But even before that, I think like maybe like around that time, I was making more than a two-person family household. Now, did I know how to manage it? That's a whole different thing. But I wasn't a statistic from the
That
perspective
part.
of being able to, and just the integrity of who he is and the character.
Mhm.
Like I tell people, like if you love me, if you like me, you're gonna love him because he's doubly delicious.
I love that. I love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So.
yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Ahas, questions, recap.
Uh, like this is the meeting that I knew I was going to like get amazingness, but I also didn't know what I need. And I love the fact that we just lean in and let what is needed come to surface. And there are other things, of course, that we'll get to, but I just feel so full and have my action items, and I know I'll get the update because I was just so engaged. I was like not even taking notes.
I'll
But
send you
I
the
just I
notes
feel
and the transcript.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. I just feel so empowered, and I have so much peace and excitement and joy in the midst of knowing that this is going to be a work that God has commissioned me to. And obviously like I'll do the thing for her, but also I think this is really the first time that I've taken care of someone to this type of degree that
Hmm.
I'm also stake in the ground. I'm still taking care of me.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
I
thank
love
you.
this.
Thank you so much. Oh my
You're
gosh.
welcome so much. Anytime. Anytime. Because I do feel it is well, like we said the other week, from the bus, it is divinely ordained for
Mm,
us to connect.
mhm,
Because I have lived this
mhm,
situation. For me, it was just a parent, but
mhm,
um I always say it, and I don't know if excitement is the word in this situation, but I think it still is. I am excited, and I will hold that space of excitement while you ride the
Oh, yeah.
waves of
Mhm.
transition and doubt and grief and all the things that come with um, your transformation and elevation. But I'm excited for you on the other side at the end of the day, no matter what's you're about to walk into either way, because I know on the other side, it is just meant for your greatness. So,
Amen. Amen. I know. Like I gotta read. I know the word alone, but I have to open it back up because you didn't remember this. So come raw, real, ready. There's transformation in these pages, and there's a throne room assignment waiting on the other side.
see? See? Because you're right. I did not remember.
You want to remember.
But yes, it's divine. It is
Yes.
divine. And I'm happy to and honored to go on this time to be able to see your timeline and your journey with you. Because one of my prayers is to be that start of the rippling effect so
Mm,
that you also can create impact and income for the people you're called to serve. And
yes.
together we can create a tsunami
Come on.
of impact and
Absolutely.
income.
And,
So,
and income, both
and
and.
and both and
Right.
okay.
Gone are the days that we doing it for free.
No, ma'am. Listen,
Right.
I literally just part of my I tell, people I have my three ease, efficiency, and excellence. And then there's my
Mhm.
three F's, which equate to my definition of happiness or success. And
Yeah.
that is freedom, not flexibility, but
Yeah.
freedom, fulfillment, and financial stability. And if those three
Mhm.
things are in alignment with whatever I'm doing, I'm there. If not, I'm not.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yes, all of
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Woo.
this
All
has
right.
been good.
It has been so good. And then we got 20 minutes and
Yes, before Lauren's thing. And so I will
Mhm.
see you there if you're coming.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah.
you
Oh,
get the
no, I'll be
replay.
there. Oh, no,
Okay,
no, no. I'm gonna be on.
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Okay.
see
All
you
right.
shortly.
Beautiful. Okay.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.